good morning. It's time to rise and shine. How you guys doing? So this is, I guess, technically day 3, which is a little, day 3 at Gencon, I'm sorry. For those of you that don't know. It is, I got 14 seconds to make this light. Here we go. To see Double D hit by a car. That would make a lot of people happy. Yeah, so it's day 3. We actually leave on Sunday. There's 4 days to this convention, Thursday through Sunday. Nobody really stays through Sunday, though. I mean, some people do. But most folks bug out early on Sunday. So I'm going to walk the street a little bit because I've walked the inside. I'm headed over to the vendor hall. Hopefully I'll hook up with Rogan and then Mrs. D and Daughter D later. This is the start of the convention center. It goes all the way. This is one of the biggest convention centers in America. Oh, by the way, across from our hotel, beautiful AAA stadium, the Indianapolis Indians. So I keep saying I want to catch a game there, but really, I mean, you're here for Gen Con. Although nowadays, baseball takes like 2.5 hours for a game, so I would like to go to that stadium at some point. Yeah, so that's the ass end of the convention center. All right, so I missed giving you guys an update yesterday. It was just busy, but I'll let you know. All right, so actually we'll go back to the tail end of day 2. Morning, Nixit. Good to see you here. Oh, yeah, there you go. Almost got to see Double D turn an ankle there. I really got to watch myself. I don't want to be one of these clueless jabronis that just walk into a pole or something. I am prone to do that. Holy smokes, look at this. All the way from Australia. Good day, Double D. Good day, sir. Thank you so much. Good to see you, Mercurius. I was going to say, I finally did a stream for you. I'm going to stay on this side of the street. Said I just have to make sure I don't walk into traffic. It's one way to go viral. Get hit by a car. What hotel is this? It's the Marriott. Okay. So we stayed. Me, Rogan, Gavin Morgan, and Captain Stern stayed. Here comes one of these scooter people who will run you over. Yeah, we stayed at this hotel, our very first Gen Con, 2009. Back then, I think there was 29,000 people that came to Gen Con. I'm gonna get better in my framing here. There's 29,000 people in 2009. Now it's 80,000 every year. It doesn't matter. It's always sold out, so it'll always be 80 for the foreseeable future. What I do like about Indy, like the whole downtown is like connected by these sky bridges. So if you don't want to walk outside, especially like in the wintertime or it's just too hot, it gets really, really sweltering here sometimes in the summer. You don't have to. Everything's connected by, they call it Sky Bridge, so it's actually pretty cool. Yeah, see, you can walk from our hotel, which is way, way down there. Peeking up there, that's the JW Marriott. That's the big hotel here. It's the place to be, actually, if you just kind of like to people watch. And pretty much have your room. I'm still pretty well convinced our room is almost across the hall from Kelsey Shadow Dark, who I think won. Didn't think she did. Kind of crushed the Ennies last night. So congratulations to her. Although, like I said, I've been running into her like every day, like getting on the elevator down in the JW. I was just sitting at the JW, just kind of people watching, kind of reading through. I got a couple of cool Call of Cthulhu things. And Mrs. D and Daughter D stopped down. Now, this is after the first time I said hello to her on the elevator. But she was walking by with a crowd of people, and I could tell there was a flicker of recognition as she saw me sitting there, and she kind of smiled and said, "Hey." So I'm like, "Hey." And then I said, "Hey, Kelsey, would you mind saying hi to my wife?" Because my wife, I like Shadow Dark a lot. You know, my wife really liked playing it at Gencon. So she just came over, and we chatted briefly, talked about things. She's the first person here who actually recognized me. She's like, "Hey, you're a YouTuber, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was almost ashamed at that point. Yeah, very sweet, very nice girl. So somehow, like the issue of pundit versus her got brought up, and she's so classy because she was just kind of like, "Oh, you know, I don't know what's going on there." You know, it's the perfect. When you're like a successful person like that, and I wish more people understood this. It's business. She realizes, like Michael Jordan said, you know, Republicans buy shoes too. She's just very professional, very nice. Always willing to talk to people. So, I'm very impressed with that young lady. Like I said, there's no reason. Gamers will spend a lot of money on a lot of different games. So there's no reason to like be jealous, you know, of somebody else's success and all that. It's like let's all straighten up and fly right. That's what Mama D used to say. This is still the convention center. I think they're talking about putting on an addition to this. This thing is in, here you go. This is, not sure who that is. Or who it's supposed to be. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, so a couple things, you know, did happen since we talked last. And we're still on, that happened with Kelsey, you know, when we said hello on day one. But towards the evening, that's why you guys missed it. I didn't do a stream, and I got really busy yesterday. Yep. That brother was making me nervous on that bike. He was. All right, so this is one of the main causeways. We hadn't been here since 2019. Some of the places are still here. There's a couple. There used to be a Primanti Brothers here, which if you're a Pennsylvania person, that was like a little slice of home. Get a good sandwich. It is gone though. Must not have worked. I think they tried to expand too far. Like the dwarves in Moria, they dug too deep. They dug towards Indianapolis. It didn't work out for them. What was I saying? Yes, so the Dave Arneson Estate versus Studio Inkbat. I'll reset this. Studio Inkbat made a product called Jaywalking D. As Robert Shaw said in Custer in the West, first is first, and second is nothing. Gotta seize the moment, boys and girls. Studio Inkbat released a product called Blackmore, Age of the Wolf. It is a kind of like what happens to Blackmore like a couple hundred years into the future. This is something Dave Arneson, I guess, had conceived as a project. He was going to work with a place called Code Monkey Publishing. They were going to go in cahoots. Unfortunately, Dave passes. This is 2009. Work had started by mostly Code Monkey Publishing contracted a guy named Colin Suleiman. Well, I guess at some point they had a falling out. Colin grabbed all his work, but it came to life once more.
Can you list?
At this Gencon, Studio Inkpad is having events, $48, where you get a quote-unquote free copy of Age of the Wolf. And that's fine and all. But the Dave Arneson estate said these people did not clear this with us. I don't know what they're doing, but they have not asked. You know, we've talked with them. We've tried to work with them. They can't be worked with. That was the Dave Arneson estate. So, yet this product is coming out with Blackmore, Dave Arneson's name. So, I was asked to kind of maybe get a little boost a little bit. Ambulance. Sorry. Jeez. That guy probably hates me. So, I saw that Studio Inkbat on the night of day one was doing a free seminar. Panel discussion, I should say, not seminar. For Age of the Wolf. I'm like, well, if you're going to break into investigative journalism, Double D, your big moment. So I went there, actually set up my camera. They probably thought something was odd because there was only a handful of people here, probably like 6, 7 maybe. It was just at one of the ballrooms at our hotel. But, Colin Suleiman was there, and then the artists and all that stuff. So my whole thing was to kind of confront them and say, hey, how dare you try to cheat the Arneson estate. Well, got a little uncomfortable when I knew one of the artists who worked on the book personally, and the other artist was a young lady who seemed like such a sweetheart. She just seemed so enthusiastic. So I have to say this. All right, so this is a qualification. That Age of the Wolf product actually looks really, really nice. It's a hardbound. The artwork looks fantastic, and even though I didn't read it, I have no reason to believe it's not. Stop here for a moment. It's not top notch. But I did. They waited to the end to ask questions, and I did say that. I said, guys, this stuff looks great. However, let's separate the creative side from the business side. I said, how do you do this without clearing it? So, Colin Suleiman kind of said, hey, it's not what you think, blah, 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 blah. And I said, would you mind sitting down for an interview? You can get your side out. I'm going to do a video on this. He said, absolutely. So I'm like, cool. We're going to do a 15-minute video right afterwards. Then at the end, I thought he was trying to big league me because I came up and said, hey, you want to do this? He shoves a couple of miniatures in my hands, a die 20. And says, yeah, I can't do it right now, bro. Let me get your number. So I'm like, okay. But I felt like I was being big leagued. So, okay, whatever. So I was already kind of in my mind thinking the kind of video, that I'm going to do when I get back. So, but I will give Colin credit. Him, or it might have been his partner or his wife or something, did call me and said, hey, we'd love to do that interview. Well, I mean, not love, they could. It's like, we got a super chatter. Hungar. Good to see you, buddy. $5. We're having a good time. We are. Just explain the whole Studio Inkbat versus Arneson. So, to make a long story short, I went over there. That is the home of the Indianapolis Colts. Now, used to be Baltimore Colts. Now, Indianapolis Colts. Lucas Oil Stadium. Gencon does a ton of stuff. They take over the stadium now, which is really weird because when we first started, You didn't do that. Holy shit, I just think I just sat in a bunch of... I think I did. Damn it. That red stuff. It's like dried up like stuff. That's alright. Eh. Can you do? Shrapnel. Alright, so I went over to the stadium to interview Colin, and he sat down with me very graciously for 15 minutes and gave his side of the story. So look for that video early this week. I know I kind of got to get it out. I think it's one of those things, it's probably the only I can tell it, because I've kind of, sat down with him, and I doubt he's going to do anything else, or with anybody else. So it's interesting. It's not as... I'll give you a sneak preview. I think the Arneson estate is correct. You can't, just by prima facie, you can't put somebody's name on a product and not get their permission. So, but Colin had some reasons. So look for that. It was very interesting. I did not expect to be doing a ton of this kind of 2020 for those of you old heads out there, that kind of stuff. But there I was sitting in a private box in Lucas Oil Stadium interviewing someone. My guess is it's going to be a tempest in a teapot, just due to the financial amounts involved. They're not very high, most likely. So, but it is kind of interesting. So look for that. Oh, nice shaded area here. Is this thing sullied? Somebody didn't spill their Wild Bill soda. All right, so that's the other end. I showed you when I started the one end of the convention center. So I've walked all that time. I actually went one block too far and then came back around, but there you go. All right, so what else did we do? All right, so we tried to play a DCC game on day one. DM didn't show up. That stuff does happen. But yesterday, Rogan and I did play in a game called Eldritch Automata. Think like Cthulhu meets Robot Jocks. It was okay. It was nice. DM was pretty good. I've spent worse times here, although the worst times are usually more memorable. My guess is this is going to be one of those things I probably forget about in time. But at the time, it's very relaxing and nice. So that's all we wanted. So Rogan and I went to St. Elmo's Steakhouse, which is a very old steakhouse here. If you ever have a chance, go there. 2.5 hour wait, or first come, first serve seating at the bar. So I said, Rogan, let's eat at the bar. And he's like, absolutely, Double D. We eat at the bar. Had a fantastic steak. Oh, man. It's good. Let's see. And then we had a meetup. Couple of channel members were over at District Tap House. Had a really good time. Me and Mrs. D were over there. Daughter D was playing two booms in a room with some people she had met here 5 years ago, and then just literally on an off chance, she was in a line 2 days ago, and she was like, I know you, don't you? Yeah, and it was these same girls that she had been playing two booms in a room with 5-6 years ago. So it's a nice little bit of serendipity. So we told Daughter D, yes, go. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Double D investigative reports. Yeah, that's how I felt. An exclusive. Yeah, I would think so. Walter Cronkite. Yeah. Everybody thought he was so, oh my God, he's the most trusted man in America. Guy was just an old liberal. Just people back then hadn't figured out what was going on. Citizen journalist and YouTuber. Yeah, DM never showed. It happens a lot. The Goodman Games area, they have a big space on the floor of the stadium, and it was organized chaos there. just to find your table, you had to wait in line. And I'm like, wouldn't it be good just to have like a tote board or something, a dry erase? This game at this time, this table. Because they had like 50 tables set up. And they had one poor guy who was doing his best. I give this guy a lot of credit. He was really nice and he was really apologetic. Of course you get the tickets refunded and all that. That's not the point. So he was, you could tell he was just frazzled. Goodman Games, like I said, say what you want about the game itself, and like I said, it does have some pretty strong points, but organization-wise, woo, it was chaos. Yeah, so I was hoping to see some of the Ennies folks, because I know the guys that run the Ennies. They're not, even though the Ennies has awarded things like thirsty sword lesbians and stuff like that. They don't, obviously they don't choose it. I mean, they just organize it. It's like a hawk lady. So they're very nice people. I've known them for a long time, and they're not. Trust me, they're not crazy. But they do like organizing it. They're just kind of like those kind of people. So it was good to hear that. I think Shadow Dark won. I think Free League won as like favorite publisher. That's good. I like both of them. So yeah, this is Dave. This is we always consider this our last. This is our last full day here. So we'll go into the vendor hall a little bit. I will say this, at the vendor hall, it's a good cross section of the population here. I've been kind of keeping a kind of track in my mind. Probably, let's be fair, probably like 20 brothers. I'm talking about not workers, just like badges, like con attendees. I'll be generous, and I'll say 7 sisters. So we'll just round up and say 20 people of color. What's this here? I have seen at least that many male to female trans people here. So they will tell you the demographics are changing. The demographics are changing. You can make that argument, as far as men v women, although I still think, I know men are at least 3-1, maybe 4-1 here, over women, but it is almost exclusively white. Despite what they do, look, they could give away 20,000 badges, 19,700 would be unclaimed if they tried to give them away to people of color. It's just not. I don't know why they keep trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. It's not what they want to do. Watch that dude, the brother, RPG Elite. He's got a pretty good channel, and he explained, look, role playing just isn't that big in the black community. Just watch his video. It's like his most popular. It would be like somebody coming over here and trying to replace baseball with cricket. Like, oh, come on, man, there's going to be cricket, everywhere. Come on, we got to more and more cricket. And people are just, I don't know, it's going to be like, no, a couple here and there maybe, but it's baseball. People like what they like, and why it is so arrogant to presume as a leftist white person that you can just be a tastemaker. Really, that's really what you're doing. You're trying to be a tastemaker and saying like, oh no, you people should like this. This is going to be good for you. It shows the utter and complete arrogance of the left. Instead of just saying like, all right, this is something that white people like to do. There's plenty of things that black people like to do. So yeah, it's bullshit. Complete bullshit. I did the walking thing in the vendor hall. You could see for yourself. It's all white. What do you say? Mercurius. $2. Cricket rules, yeah. Hey, look, yeah, if we're over there in that part of the world, I wouldn't expect baseball to to take off. In places like India or Australia, I wouldn't be that arrogant. Look at this. Oh my lord, who is this? Bruce Lombardo of Dick's Division. I don't know how much a horseshoe sandwich plate costs, but if you aren't familiar with one, you should try it. Ooh, thank you so much. $50. Wow, that is certainly enough. A horseshoe sandwich. Dang. I'll try to look for that. We're going to Buca tonight. We always go to. It's a tradition of ours. We'll go to Buca de Beppo on Saturday night. So I don't know. Maybe for lunch today I get a horseshoe. Thank you so much. $50. That's very generous, Bruce. Mucho gracias, all you guys at Super Chat. It's fantastic. Yeah, Buca. 43. We got 45 people. My little morning music. Double D's morning musings. This is a nice little quiet area. I can feel the sun beating on my back, but my front is shaded. This is kind of nice. Yeah, so Vendor Hall is open. I will probably head out here, but not before. Jeffrem, our old friend, says, what's been the best surprise so far for you at Gencon? Believe it or not, all right, so late night, day one, late night, not last night, but the night before, 24, robbers came knocking at my door. My wife and my daughter play this social deduction game called Blood on the Clock Tower. It is and it's like a werewolf. Just think like an up-jumped werewolf. And it's a little bit more complicated, but they do give you like a laminated sheet. So you're like, okay, I can figure out what's going on here. So I played this. There's like 11 of us. But I've never played before, so I like to be. There's certain in those games. There's certain roles that are less taxing than others. So the first time we're drawing tokens out of a bag, the guy says, "Make sure there's not two stuck together." I get some role called the Tea Lady, which seemed easy enough. You didn't have to do much. Then my Mrs. D, sitting next to me, pulled hers out. The bag went around. She said, "Oh, I got two stuck together." I shot her a dirty look because I knew what was going to happen. Put the tokens back in, everyone. Make sure this time. I'm shaking my head. Mrs. D, you disappoint me. Of course, it had to be this way. It had to. It's like in baseball when they say the ball will find you. Anybody who's played baseball knows exactly what that means. I reach in the bag again. Sure enough, I'm the demon. I'm the guy that has to kill people at night. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, I do have the gift of gab. I have a silver tongue. So I proceeded to kind of work the game. My big move was, because my daughter is really good at every game, but social deduction games too. I convinced everybody, when we're kind of talking before we get together and figure out who they're going to execute. Like, that's my daughter over there. She's really good and she's really sneaky. I got a feeling she might be the demon. And they believe me. They got her out of the way, and then after that, the dominoes started to fall. So, needless to say, Double D and the Demon Team won. Yay! That was actually that was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. So, even though I was pissed off at Mrs. D for goofing up the roll draw, I was actually happy in the end because I got to put one over. Trying to see here. As far as that goes, I did find a nice, like Chaosium, they have a booth here. They're, I guess, kind of neither here nor there, but they offered a reprint of the original box of Call of Cthulhu, plus reprints of like 5 kind of hard to find PDFs. But and they're like all books. I mean, you can tell they're of course reprints and that, but I don't care. Like, I'm like, I got to get that. So I got that. because it's just a strict reprint of the original box from 1981 or 80 or whatever it was. So it's had to get it. Had to get it. It was like $100, but it's a really thick box, and there's like 7, 8 like full books in there, so it was well worth it. But yeah, other than that, everyone's having a good time. I'm so glad my daughter met up with those girls, so she doesn't have to hang out with me and Mrs. D. She can kind of go her own way a little bit. As a parent, I think you guys would understand that. The D and double D stands for demon. Yes, it does, Steel Mongoose. Brendan Walsh, your brother just walked by. Walsh! Walsh! Nobody's turning around. Hand ratty? Oh, a little nose guard. Hold on here. My little nose guard is going off script. Okay. Yep. The kitchen table. Yeah, there's a lot of good restaurants here. We wanted to do a steakhouse though. We used to go to Shula's. Then we started to go to Ruth's Chris. Oh boy, there we go. All right, we got a tour group. That might be our. Let's head into the vendor hall. There's a beautiful church here, right outside the convention hall. I think he said 1837. I'm gonna follow these people in so I don't. We won't do a full walkthrough of the vendor hall. You guys have already seen that. That'll get boring. And I will end it pretty soon. I'll show you a card holla. Sure. Go. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is card holla. Go ahead. Go ahead. Kids really love that. I think on the last day you can start to knock them down. Like you can start to get pennies and knock those down. And see, that's the kind of stuff you don't get. Like I love the like small conventions for just gaming. But if you do just kind of like the people watch it and like the spectacle, could do a lot worse than this place here. Yeah, so that's kind of a tradition. I think a cool one too. Like I said, there's excuse me. Definitely some cool stuff here. You can give you guys a little. We'll do a little demographic check. I gotta take the shades off. Much as I wear them. All right. 1 second here. Got to get my badge out. Okay, thank you. Demographic. There's Paizo. Ooh. F you. So. You guys are getting sucked in again, just like I am. Oh, there's a good costume. Nice. I like that. Thank you.
And in this game, we are getting ourselves a cozy winter boardroom. There are
cascading on this. I will put it through this way.
You're just walking in front of me. Now you're just walking in front of me, guys. So enjoy. Here, we'll do a little of this. Why not? What else are you gonna do on your Saturday morning? You see what I see. This is Gale Force 9. They are just, alls they are now is just license jockeys like Aliens, Dune, Star Trek, World of Tanks, Clash of Steel, Hextech. They used to actually make some cool stuff. Really don't have much like gaming related doodads and knickknacks. Honestly now, not so much. Not so much. All right. Guys getting blinded by the whiteness. I think technically we're supposed to be ashamed of this, so. Yep. All white. All white. Anybody who wants to clip this part, feel free, but this is the reality. There's talk, there's bullshit, and then there's reality. You know? I might have seen a brother over there. Good for him. Everybody is welcome. As I think RPG Pundit says, this game is for anyone, but not for everyone. So,
exactly what they want.
I gotta say the vendor halls, maybe it's like growing up, going to a big town and then coming back. It seems a little bit slightly disappointing. Not completely, slightly disappointing. I think COVID ruined a lot of cool little places that used to come here. Look at these. Oh, that's True Dungeon. Don't want to be mean, but I never really. We went through True Dungeon once. I didn't think it was worth it. There's HeroScape. There's Catalyst. We don't like these people for what they did to Blaine Pardo. Battles. I do not support these people. Do not support them. Bad people. Bad. What is Pinball Tycoon? Arcade. Is that like a game? It might be a game. I am a pinball wizard, so. I do have a pinball machine over there. I don't know what they're selling. It's confusing. I thought maybe there was a pinball board game or something. I don't know. I like the Astros. Sure, yeah. Love the Tequila Sunrise uniforms for the Astros. All right. Maybe. Because I know where he is. We're close, so maybe we can go by James Raggy's booth. He seems like a very shy guy, so I don't want to hey James, let's do an impromptu interview. Oops.
I would love it. Yeah, I know. It's just
I think he's 29. Kind of going without my glasses here. So. All right, these two over here. Sorry. Oh, there's Free League. They have a room and like they spend a lot of money here. 40 of you watching still. I'm amazed. It's a 27. He is 29. All right, so there you can see James straight ahead.
no, sorry, I thought you were going to get me.
There's you guys can see this is the end. The only other thing that might be worth seeing is the Kingdom Death booth, but I'm not going up there. It's always a madhouse. So, all right, James is doing business. Sorry, it's a little more crowded than it usually is. This is the far end of the hall. As you can see, the wall is there. Yeah, it's like
11:40 or 10:40.
Rogan keeps saying this serenity prayer. I am like them, they are like me, as he's going through the hall and he's getting like jostled and pushed and all that stuff. I am like them, they are like me. Okay, I am like them, they are like me. There's James, if you saw, the great James Raggy, Lamentations, Ascendancy, Galen's Gate. So I'm gonna peace out, guys. Make sure I didn't miss any more super chats. Should you $2 Hungar? Should you pick up Shadow Dark? Yes, it's a good read. Very slick book. Pretty good game too. So I would recommend it. Thank you, Hungar. Yeah, James. I bought 2 books from James, and there's a Zach Smith adventure that's being given away for free. So that is cool. I picked up a couple of those for some fellow creators that wanted me to send it to him. I think he's probably out of them now, though. So, all right, guys. Ducking here. All right. So, you guys take care. Peace out. We'll talk soon.